Welcome everybody to I'm Always Serious News' Sunday paper program. Tonight, Smarmy's still not working due to the government shutdown. A 9-year-old leaves his parents at home, setting the stage for Home Alone 5. Malayla gets shot down again, but this time it's from the Nobel Peace Prize people. You say that 5 times. In sports, the Sixers lose, Flyers lose, the Phillies are lost, but the Eagles won. And USA gymnast Simone Biles becomes the world champion, while Italy's Carlotta Ferlito becomes the world champion. These stories and more this edition of the Sunday paper program.
It's the I'm Only Serious News Network with Dan Mahan, Dave Morrow, John Smarmy, Tim Eli, Tony Viejo, John Wild Rice, and Cynthia Stormy Haskins.
Well, folks, there's still no end in sight for the government shutdown. In fact, it's getting to the point between the Republicans in the House and the Democrats in the Senate that even President Obama has now turned to the kiddie round table. You know the ones from the AT&T commercials, if they can't fix it. In other kid news, a 9-year-old ran away from home and flew to Vegas. Yeah, he was able to pass through security unchecked and board a plane without a ticket. When they asked him later on how he did it, he pleaded the 55th, which in Vegas means what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what that means. The NSA later picked up chatter amongst several terrorist groups who have now started to recruit 9-year-old kids. Go figure. Yeah, but instead of promising them 72 virgins, the word is they promised them 72 boogeyman cards. See how that works. McDonald's is planning on putting kids into the reading sector by replacing toys in the Happy Meals with storybooks. Toys with storybooks. And the stories are going to focus on healthy eating. Who the hell came up with this marketing plan for McDonald's? The Burger King? Cracker, please. Take away the toys and then kids start to realize what the nasty shit is you're feeding them. You know what I mean? No more distraction. Also, the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, folks, turned out to be not so damn noble. This year's award went to the United Nations Office for Chemical Weapons Destruction. Cracker, please. They haven't destroyed anything yet. Didn't we learn our lesson a couple of years ago when they gave it to Obama for stopping the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? And then he just went on with the drone strikes? Come on, man. And the worst is that they bypassed Malayla, the 16-year-old from Pakistan, who, for trying to get an education, was warned by the Taliban not to continue, continued anyway, had her bus stopped and was shot in the head and left for dead. She made it through all that, through several surgeries, and is now on a speaking tour, now that she's feeling a little better, and trying to get women's rights straightened out over there in Afghanistan and Pakistan and them all them other damn stains. Cracker, please. You know, also on that list was Ed Snowden, but we all know why he didn't get it. We all know why. And in Pottsville, a family is fighting a felony charge for trying to assist in the suicide of the 93-year-old ailing father. His daughter, who had been taking care of him for about 2 years, while raising her own family and working full-time, succumbed to her father's wishes and helped him take an overdose of his prescribed morphine. However, it wasn't quite enough, and Dad was still breathing when the nurse came in, who came by 3 times a week, and instead of giving him more morphine to finish the job, she called 911. Well, good old Dad lived for another 4 days in the hospital before they killed him with morphine. And now here's the daughter up for charges. You know, it's funny, we live in a state where the governor tries to reduce assistance to unwed mothers with unplanned kids, yet is against abortion. And in a country that can't afford providing for our elderly, yet won't let them humanely end their life. Have we gone cracker crazy or what? But more on some international news. Giving us his point of view from a world look is our own John Smarmy. Smarmy?
Thanks, Dan. What you did is just like masturbation. The pleasure's all yours. Hey folks, Smarmy here. This is my eye on the world. A patriotic streaker stuns a crowd at a President's Cup. Speaking of cups, she had 2 of them. Anyways, there's a way on Google to search without being tracked. So those who want to look up pedophilia, child porn, and animal zoology, lovemaking, feel free to do that. A biker was accused of road rage. Remember that game Road Rage on Sega Genesis? How great was that game? Remember whipping that guy with the chainsaw? Or the chains, whatever? That's just good fun, folks. Smarmy loves the Sega Genesis. What's in chicken nuggets? Folks, brace yourself. You're eating chicken nuggets, you might want to pause this video. I'll tell you. Chicken duty scraps and chicken love sauce pudding. Tastes good in barbecue sauce, I'll say. Former kidnap victim Elizabeth Smart speaks out from Cleveland, Ohio about her troubles and her tragedy of being a victim. I got news for any white woman listening to the show. Do not move to Cleveland. They will kidnap you. I'm warning you. Remember that Charles Ramsey black fella? He saved about 3 white women. For some reason, white women get kidnapped in Ohio. And it won't be Drew Carey singing that Cleveland rock song, folks. Never say this to a person with OCD. Hey, get your finger out of my ass. That's not news, but I threw that in. Okay. How to save money on movie tickets. Sneak into the thing. Why pay? Who wants to pay $5 for sour Batman gummy worms? Not me, folks. Not me. Lady Gaga's furious over a jeans company. Apparently, she was upset because people could see her bulge. If you know what I'm saying, folks. Eminem's daughter was crowned prom queen. Will the real Slim Shady daughter please stand up? Robin Thicke had an ad that was recently banned. Talk about blurred lines. Hey, hey, hey. Speaking of Robin Thicke, he said he had nothing to do with the Miley Cyrus controversy. All he did was rub his penis on her 19-year-old ass. But other than that, folks, he had nothing to do with it. I assure you of that. An African-American server, a customer wrote on her receipt for the bill an N-word racial slur, and people have gathered charity to give her $10,000. Folks, for $10,000, you can call me that N-word. You can call me it all night. You can call me whatever you want for 10 G's. Men all over the world are going crazy over these testosterone pills because they cannot get their wives pregnant and they cannot ejaculate. I just want all the ladies to know, listen to this, Smarmy can get it up. Smarmy can get it up. A coworker is in trouble for taping one of his female coworkers breast pumping. The sad thing is, guys listen to this and go, that's actually not that bad. What did he get in trouble for? I would do the same thing. Where do I get one of those little pens from? Can somebody please tell me? Can somebody? Anybody? Oh boy. Hard at work here, folks. James Woods calls Obama an abomination. Shouldn't it be a Obama nation? There's that smarmy humor, folks, everyone loves. Got a few more things. 11-year-old boy was arrested and found guilty for targeting a girl in class. What was she doing to him? What did she do? Knock over his chocolate milk? Did she pass around notes saying, hey everybody, Thomas Dale smells like duty? What did this little girl do to deserve such a hit? You tell me, folks. Did you guys know that actor Ben Affleck never had a perfect SAT score? Not only is he smart, but he also ate Jennifer Lopez's Puerto Rican ass. And folks, that has nothing to do with news, but I respect him for that. Nice one to throw that in. We admire him. And also, a man has encountered aliens and said that his life has been turned upside down. By upside down, the alien stuck a probe up his ass. Which is like an Oz thing, folks. HIVPO. Whatever that means. And lastly, a mom says a janitor ordered a hit on her child and also was roughing him up. Once again, what was this kid doing? What was this kid doing? Did he spill his orange juice over the floor? Did he steal his mops? Did he use a ShamWow rag? Folks, I believe there's 2 sides to this story. And I think this kid is a prick. Because I don't see why a janitor would do that. And speaking of pricks, this prick is done. And Dan, just take it away.
Thanks, Marvin. And don't you think it's funny that people are still being probed? That stuff started 60 years ago. If they're that smart to get around, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they have something else now? Check us for hemorrhoids? In local news, 2 Philadelphia high school students from Kensington were awarded grants of $2,000 apiece for their winning proposals on what to do with empty lots in their neighborhood. The first girl had an empty lot situated between 2 row homes. Her idea? Clean it up, put some benches in, and allow the community to use the walls as a so-called community art project. The second had a corner lot that she was going to clean up, throw some trees in, some benches, and make it a bird sanctuary. Really? These kids realize they're living in Kensington, right? Because the bird sanctuary is just going to become another place where old people will feed the pigeons and the junkies will leave their works after they're done at night. And as far as needing artwork, on the community artwork on the walls, tell these girls to go around a few blocks and look at the rest of Kensington. There's artwork on all your walls down there. The place is a mess. Mayor Peanut Butter was questioned about it, and he just said, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. How old are kids? They in school? Sesame Place in Bucks County, PA, will be expanding this next spring to include the new Cookie Monster World. A move designed to coincide with the new laws concerning medical marijuana, by the way. In fact, some of the new rides will include a Ferris wheel called How High is Too High, a carousel that appears to stand still while everything else is moving around, and a new food court that will be called the Munchie Zone, and an interactive museum of how did Cookie get this way. The truth, folks, will be told in the spring. And now, folks, before we move along with sports, a word, or a message you might say, from our general manager of the station here at the Paula Dean's old studio, Tim Eli. Tim?
Thank you, Dan. The pleasure's all yours. I'm IOSN General Manager Tim Eli. You're talking about what? You're talking about bitching about that story you reported? Some son of a bitch you don't want to be interviewed? Some broad you're trying to screw? Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down. Coffee's for reporters only. You think I'm fucking with you? I'm not fucking with you. I'm here from the network. I'm here from IOSN. And I'm here on a mission of mercy. Your name's Rice? You call yourself a reporter, you son of a bitch? You don't have to take this, pal. Because the good news is, you're fired. The bad news is, all of you've got, just 1 week to regain your job, starting with tonight's broadcast. Oh, have I got your attention now? Good. Because we're adding a little something to the time slot ratings contest. As you all know, first prize for the reporter with the highest rating is a Cadillac Eldorado. Anyone want to see the second prize? Here's the second prize. Third prize is you're fired. Get the picture, right? Anybody laughing now? You got news leads. IOSN pays good money to get these news leads. You can't report the leads we send you out on, you can't report shit. You are shit. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it, because you're out of here. Anyone here thinks the news leads are weak? Fucking leads are weak? You're weak. I've been in this business 15 years. You want to know my name? You want to know my name? Fuck you. That's my name. You know why, mister? You drove a Hyundai to get here. I drove an $80,000 BMW. That's my name. And your name is, you're wanting. You can't play in the man's game. You can't report the stories. Go home and tell your wife your troubles. Because only one thing counts in this life. Get them to listen to the news that we broadcast. You hear me, you fucking faggots? A, B, R, A, always. B, B, R, reporting. Always be reporting. Always be reporting. A, I, D, A, attention, interest, decision, action. Attention. Do I have your attention? Interest. Are you interested? I know you are, because it's fuck or walk. You report or you hit the bricks. Decision. Have you made your decision, for Christ? And action. A-I-D-A, get out there. You got the news stories coming in. You think people tune into us to get out of the rain? A guy don't tune into IOSN unless he wants the news. They're sitting out there waiting to hear the news. Are you going to report it? Are you man enough to report it? Want to know how come I come down here wasting my time with such a bunch of bums? You see this watch? You see this watch? This watch cost more than your car. I made $970,000 last year. How much did you make? You guys, you see these guys? That's who I am. And you're nothing. Nice guy? I don't give a shit. Good father? Fuck you. Go home and play with your kids. You want to work here? Report! You think this is abuse? You think this is abuse, you cocksuckers? You can't take this? How can you take the abuse you get on an interview? You don't like it? Leave. I can go out there tonight with the news leads you've got, and ratings will go through the roof. Tonight, 2 hours. Can you? Can you? Go and do likewise. AID mad. AIDA. Get mad, you sons of bitches. Get mad! You want to know what it takes to report the news? Want to know what it takes to report the news? It takes balls to report the fucking news. Go and do likewise, gents. The stories are out there. You report them, the ratings are yours. You don't? I got no sympathy for you. You want to go out on those stories tonight and report. Report! It's yours! If not, you're going to be shining my shoes. And you know what you'll be saying? A bunch of losers sitting around a bar. Oh yeah, I used to be a newscaster. It's a tough racket. These are the news leads. These are the IOSN news leads. To you, the gold. And you don't get them. You want to know why you don't get them? Because to give them to you is just throwing them away. They're for reporters. I wish you all good luck, but you wouldn't know what to do with it if you got it. You really want to know why I'm here tonight? I came here because IOSN asked me to. They asked me for a favor. I said, the real favor? Follow my advice and fire your fucking asses because you're all losers. Tim Eli, General Manager, reporting.
Thank you, Tim. And you can catch them next, folks, in Capital One credit card commercials. Don't leave home without it. In sports, baseball is in its October playoff season. Yet, believe it or not, America's pastime cannot be reached on free radio. That's right. The game that was born and bred and made popular through the use of the radio waves all through the years cannot be had on free radio if you're listening or trying to. I'm sure they have it on satellite. But don't they get enough money from us already? Now, I think what it is, nobody's going to stop going to the games, especially the playoffs, or watching them if they're on TV. Everybody knows that. But I think the way that fans can begin their revolt, or start to, is none of them annoying commercials that come on when you're watching your football game or your baseball game. Write down who the commercial's about, and then stop buying their shit. Shame on you, baseball. You know, USA gymnast Simone Biles became the first black gymnast to win the all-around world championship. That's right. Remember last year we had Gabby Douglas became the first black gymnast to win the Olympic gold all-around. Unfortunately, though, the damn Italians who she was competing against, Carlotta Ferlito, had to make an apology because she said to her friend, Vanessa Ferrari, this is real names, that next time we'll have to have our skin black so we can win too. Is that right, you racist little fascist bitch? No. Has nothing to do with your skin being black. But maybe if you weren't so damn greasy, you wouldn't slip off all the damn bars all the time. In the Sixers news, they traveled to Europe and lost. In fact, the Flyers lost, and the Phillies just can't find their way. But luckily today, folks, the Eagles did pull out a big win. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I listened to it on free fucking radio. Next up we have for you in sports is our update on the world of MMA. And get your seatbelts on. Tony?
Thanks, Dan. Buckle in, folks. It's going to be a fun ride tonight. First thing I want to bring to your attention in the world of MMA. This past Wednesday night, Damian Maia fought Jake Shields in what should have been a great match. But if you think about it, Jake Shields is a phenomenal wrestler. Damian Maia is a phenomenal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu technician. It just was on the ground, people not getting submitted for 3 rounds. as a grappler myself, I do enjoy watching that, but you got to stand up and bang once in a while. It's MMA. You got to trade the blows, and that just didn't happen in that fight. But what did happen, UFC issued a lifetime ban on a fighter. Now, I'm a little concerned about this. Humas Polaris, a Brazilian native, the UFC Fight Night was in Brazil, fought Mike Pierce. And within 31 seconds, he took him down and put him in a heel hook within 31 seconds. Ref came in, stopped it. However, with 1.8 seconds left, he twerked it a little, I'm sorry, not twerked it, he tweaked it just a little bit more. And that got him a lifetime ban. Now the UFC has a thing with Polaris and the leg locks. The UFC's kind of anti-leg lock because it's a predominantly jiu-jitsu area. But Humas Polaris is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. And I also think it was because in his last few fights, beforehand he was tested positive for elevated testosterone levels. So I think they were looking for another reason to cut him and ban him for life. It's a shame though, but you'll be able to see him on many different fight cards and all the other fight promotions that we know about. Because there's only the UFC, folks. That's all that matters in this day and age. Coming up with UFC 166 this coming Saturday, Cain Velasquez, the champion, is fighting Junior Dos Santos for a third time around. These guys are going to have an amazing trilogy of fights that's going to close out right here. I think Cain Velasquez is going to walk away with the title. However, I do think they'll meet again. I think they're going to fight about 6 times overall in their careers. Daniel Cormier will be fighting Roy Nelson. And I told you a few weeks ago that Daniel Cormier was lobbying to get Roy Nelson to shave his beard. Well, guess what? Roy Nelson showed a picture on Twitter today. His beard's all trimmed up. So we're going to see if that knockout ability was damaged in any way because of the mystical, magical powers of his beard. Gilbert Melendez, former Strikeforce champion, will be fighting Diego Sanchez in the lightweight division. I don't care. I can step on you both. Those are the size of my turds every goddamn day. Kale shakes. Drink them. They make your turds the size of lightweights. It's amazing. And last but not least, Gabriel Gonzaga is going to be fighting Sean Jordan. Don't know who Sean Jordan is. So I hope Gabriel Gonzaga wins that fight. But I just want to bring up one last thing. On YouTube, check out this video of 2 kangaroos fighting each other. Don't go to Australia, folks. It's a scary place. The kangaroos are throwing jabs, hooks. They're going all out. They're doing kicks off their tail, folks. Kicks off their tails. And then to finish it off, the other kangaroo put the other kangaroo in a fucking sleeper hold. Kangaroos, no grappling too? I ain't going to Australia, man. But if you want to learn some MMA, go down there for free. You can grapple with a kangaroo. Just stumble upon one in the wild. It's a fantastic thing. Dan, I'm going to go to Australia next week. That's where I'll be. Back to you, buddy.
Thanks, Tony. Of course, I thought the MMA was made up of people kicked out of the other fight leagues. What do I know? But speaking of fighting, the gaming industry still has our own John Rice to give us a report on the latest games out there. John?
Hey guys, John Rice with your gaming update. The government is shut down, which is goofy, but we're still getting video games, which is important to people like me. We have a new video game update. It's not pumpkin flavored, but it is Call of Duty flavored. So Call of Duty is coming out 11/5 of this year, which is cool because it's like every other Call of Duty except 1 or 2 things have changed. Which is still cool with me because I love Call of Duties. And, if you don't like Call of Duty, you don't like video games, and you're probably not watching this, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, we have a video game update, and I'm doing it now. But the new modes for Call of Duty Ghost, which comes out next month, you can make your own squad. You can make your own little soldiers. You can make a sniper, or an attack soldier, and everything you want. Make it onto a little group and watch it fight. Rank it up. Great stuff. Same as every other Call of Duty though. But anyway, if you don't have any friends to get into your squad, it's alright because you also have the AI. The AI is supposedly more intelligent than any other Call of Duty because it's supposedly, the AI sniper acts like a sniper, which it's already supposed to. But if you do have friends, you can join them into your squad, fight other squads, rank up into the multiplayer, which, is a big thing into the Xbox world these days. And if you hate going online and fighting other people and spawning and turning a corner and getting killed within 15 seconds or immediately by a 9-year-old from another country, probably Germany, it doesn't matter because now you can fight AI, which is supposedly the same as multiplayer and any other video gamer. Is supposed to be just give you that challenge, but you're supposed to be able to technically beat it. So if you don't like leaving your house and you don't like fighting other real people, then fight the computer in the AI new squads mode for Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts is supposed to be the next big thing. Which, is it going to really, overpass GTA 5? We don't know yet, but it's supposed to be a really good game and hopefully the same or different, actually, from any other Call of Duty. Brought to you by Activision, Infinity Ward, and Nintendo update. No real Nintendo updates. I really want them to bring back some old school stuff because I want Nintendo to come back. I think they can beat Xbox one day, but we don't know. Anyway, John Rice with the gamer update. Alright, back to you, Dan. Thanks.
Thanks, John. And my Call of Duty, folks, usually starts with the Morning Inquirer. That's right. Pick it up when you get your morning coffee, or have it delivered to your front door, or somewhere thereabouts. Depends on the paper carrier. Next up, folks, we have our Mystic Minute with our very own Dave Morrow, former author who never wrote a book. Dave?
Thank you, Dan. Welcome to the Mystic Minute. I am your host, Dave Ron Morrow, unpublished author extraordinaire, avid German kickboxer, and black belt in psychic jujitsu. Here we shall discuss the bizarre and insane forces that drive our lives. I have to tell you, fair viewers, I've been hitting the rifle range with the Garand a bit more frequently these days. You see, it would seem that certain dark mages within the local community have decided to take upon themselves to send fox apparitions to raid my hen house. You yourself may have noticed your chicken's acting a little bit frantic lately. I, of course, need mine for my monthly lunar rituals. We won't get into those details. It has to ferment. I'll go over the recipe in a future episode. I would just like to say that I believe that this certain dark mage behind these incidents may be a certain infamous gentleman by the name of Pierre Lapierre. I will make that statement. Pierre, if you want to take this battle to the astral plane anytime, I'm right here. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Dave. And I don't know about him, but I've choked a few chickens. Speaking of choking a chicken, we're going to get our outdoor weather report, and the weather's been nice, from what I understand. Our own, very own, Cynthia Stormy Haskins. Cynthia.
Thanks, Dan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Cynthia Stormy Haskins here. And what an Indian summer we're having out there. I'm tracking all the changes ahead, but the temperatures so far, they haven't been this warm, since like 1947. That's like 32 years. Times 2, folks, okay? It's like the Middle Ages out there. You know, it's like been in the 50s at night and the 60s and 70s during the day. This week, we may even hit nursing home weather. 80s, may even feel like 90 out there. Also, when you factor in the full sun, this autumn warm air mass could stick around Wednesday, Thursday, even up till Friday night. You do want to take advantage of this front because it's going to swing out Friday night late, around 1 a.m., and it may never call again. So, you might need your jacket. You might need your jacket. That's what I'm trying to say. Be careful out there, guys. Especially you Indians. Alright, there's nothing reserved about their Indian summers. I just came back from one. Black, this is where it's at. I'm going to share some wardrobe tips with you. Weather bleeds into wardrobe sometimes. If you have a bad workout, I don't know. Black, even if you only own one black shirt, it's enough. Just like Friends. Okay. So we look towards the Midwest. We're experiencing a case of the drizzles like we've never seen before. Don't cry about this. It's just going to make it worse, okay? Moonshine. Moonshine. October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. In lieu of breast cancer awareness, I practice mole awareness. He knows where he is. And you guys out there, you knows. Who knows? You know where yours are. Your doctor should know too. Remove them out of your life. You won't even need me to tell you what to do. Dan, back to you.
Thank you, Cynthia. That was warm, fuzzy, and very confusing. But we will make sure we get ready for the warm weather and wear our jackets too. Next up, folks, we're going to have our final thought of the evening, Mindless Thoughts, by our very own Tony Viejo. Tony?
That's mindless, misled thought, Dan. Thank you. All right, guys. This week, I got a few things for you. So the government's been shut down for all of, what, 16, 17 days now? I'm still going to work. People are still coming in. But the food stamp system did shut down the other night in 17 states. That was kind of weird. And everyone was automatically, oh my God, the government's stopping the food stamp program. First, the food stamp program is controlled actually by Xerox in those 17 states. I know, how weird is that a copy machine company controls the food stamp program? What? I know. But check this out. They were doing some updates to the system on like a Thursday night Saturday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. they were running an update. The second busiest shopping day of the week, they're doing the updates on the system. I'm so happy I was off that day for my day job because that would have been a nightmare. But a lot of people were rushed to blame the government shutdown for this. And I'm going to be completely honest. I really don't know why the government shut down. They say it's because Congress can't find funding for the Affordable Health Care Act, so they have to lock it up. Which, if that's the case, the Affordable Health Care Act doesn't sound too affordable to me if our government has to find money for it and stop working. When is Swarmy going to go back to work? He's creeping me out. He's living in my closet. But they've cut funding to unnecessary programs like the NOAA website. You can't go on there and check the weather anymore for like the Atlantic coast, the Gulf Coast, the whole country. You can't check the weather. South Dakota had a massive blizzard that was poorly reported on because of government tracking websites that went down, weather tracking sites that went down. This is not good. Find the money, figure out what you're going to do, but don't keep raising the debt ceiling and filling it with shit. Maybe you should cut the money elsewhere, possibly your paychecks. I don't know. I think you guys make way too much money just sitting around doing nothing. Second thing that's really on my nerves right now. The government shutdown did not stop the pumpkin onslaught. The pumpkin onslaught is hopefully coming to an end soon, folks. You know what I'm talking about. Pumpkin everything. You know, a few years ago it was pumpkin coffee, pumpkin this, pumpkin that. Do you know Pat's down in Philly's doing a pumpkin cheesesteak now? They take the guts out and they throw it onto the grill and they just cook it up real quick and slap it on a cheesesteak. That's not actually happening, but if that was, that would be disgusting. But I'd probably get 2 with whiz and onions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you out there for watching once again. I'd like to thank everybody involved, the new station manager, Tim Eli, those of us who will still be here next week, and of course Smarmy, Dave, John, Tony, Cynthia, and Darren behind the camera. Thanks and have a good night.